Well, it looks like I may have been right about Sonic Heroes. So way back a little over 7 months ago, it looked like there was going to be a Sonic Heroes reveal during the Sonic Central, and this was during the Tails Tube segment. There was like a weird moment where they had Tails Tube have like a glitchy moment, and it showed like images and flashes of Sonic Heroes, and it was very strange. But we know how Sega America especially loves to tease things. Or in general, someone like Kishimoto would just tell a user on Twitter, yes, a game is coming, like he did with Sonic Superstars. Man's literally said, yeah, the 2D game's being worked on by another team. Like, bruh, it was not even announced yet at that point. But yes, this does come back to another notorious leaker, Zippo. But not only Zippo, someone else that is also actually pretty credible and probably more credible than Zippo is. But let's break it down real quick from Zippo. Zippo posted that one of these games are going to be getting a remake in Unreal Engine 5 or whatever, and he posted Adventure 1 all the way down to Sonic Unleashed, and he said one of these games are going to get a remaster. And for each game that he talked about, he actually spelled out Sonic Heroes. For SA1, he started the sentence off with "Hoo boy," which starts with an H. And with SA2, he used the word enthusiasm, which has an E in it. And for Heroes, he started out with the word really, which has an R. And then 06 with the word O, which is an O. Unleashed, another E. And then at the end, he says, so there you go, which starts with an S. And the first letter for each game he talked about actually spells out Heroes. Honestly, it's a little corny that he did that, but it was there the whole time. But before anybody even deciphered that Zippo was doing that, another notorious leaker named Midori came out and said, yes, it's Sonic Heroes and Unreal Engine 5. And Midori is a pretty big leaker at this point, and almost all of the information they've ever posted has only been correct. They said this information is correct, but there's not any adventure remakes right now. But they also did say, though, that Sonic Heroes Remake is being considered, but they do not think the original source is correct about it being released in 2026 or 2027. So that is something that we'll just have to wait and see on. But they did say that Sega does want to experiment with Sonic games in Unreal Engine 5, and one of the titles being considered is Sonic Heroes. I don't know anything that is being mentioned by Zippo about 2026 or 2027. I do not know enough about who Zippo is. So this person doesn't even know Zippo, and they know that this is definitely a thing. But to me, when you gather all the information from all the sources, it sounds like Sonic Heroes is in huge talks and development hasn't even started yet. So yeah, I would assume this game is not coming out within the next 3 years, or maybe towards the end of that 3rd year. But all in all, I don't feel crazy to get hype at that moment during the Sonic Central and think that's a tease for Sonic Heroes, or that it's in talks or started development or whatever. I'm not crazy for that. And I feel ahead of the time now a little bit, now that all of this is coming out. Now, I was only hyped because I thought it was going to be an announcement or some crazy ease or something. But I'm not going to sit here and say I wish it was other Sonic games. I'm perfectly fine and okay with them remastering Sonic Heroes or remaking Sonic Heroes, especially in Unreal Engine 5. That's a crazy development update. But dang it, man, I really wish it was Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. But even if it was just 1, that would be crazy. That's the games that we're all really waiting for. I know there's still a lot of Heroes fans, and I'm personally not the biggest fan of Heroes anymore. I used to be when I was younger, but I replayed the game and I'm like, whew, this game is rough. Unlike Adventure 1 and 2, when I replay those games, they're fire. And I had Sonic Heroes back then just as I did the other game. And I actually played Adventure 2 before I played 1. I played Adventure 1 a little bit later. I'm just being honest. In my personal opinion, Sonic Heroes has problems. So this remake will be its chance to be that fix or just add quality of life changes where they're needed. And that's cool and all. But the only problem I have with this is, dang, there's other games that I think are more important to remake or remaster first, at least, that need those quality of life changes because people still value those games to the same degree. And also, the original version of Heroes is not even ported on any platform, so people still want the original version to play. I don't think the remake version should be the only one that's available to buy from stores or online stores. And I mean, they'll probably port that version too, but that should be their top priority, and I think that should have been out. And of course, they need to do a lot with Sonic Heroes. I don't want it to just be a straight up port to Unreal Engine 5 and make the game look prettier, or ground up remake that is trying to be one-to-one. There needs to be gameplay improvements and just quality of life overall, in my opinion. And some of my own personal ideas that I shared in that video 7 months ago about the teams thing, where I think you should only have to play one team to get the true ending, just get all the Chaos Emeralds. Or each team should get a new different ending to make it more unique, or change the order of the stages for the other characters so you're not going through the same exact order of stage layouts. There's a lot of things that they could do, and I just hope that they actually plan on doing it instead of just saying, hey, we're messing with Unreal Engine 5, let's take Heroes and throw it in there. It's low risk. I think that's really the true purpose of Sonic Heroes getting a remake, is it's low risk and they want to learn how to use Unreal Engine 5. So they're using Sonic Heroes as a test dummy. Now some people may think, hey, that's a good thing, we'll get Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remakes better then because they know how to use the engine. I mean, yes, no, I mean, I guess, sure, but I feel like there's other ways to test using an engine. You don't have to release a whole game to the public to learn how to use an engine. You can just learn at the company in the background. But I also find it a surprising move because Hedgehog Engine 2 is a great engine. It's a great graphics engine. And now, before anybody says anything in the comments, this has nothing to do with gameplay. Graphics engine. It determines how these games look and the lighting and all of that. That's what Hedgehog Engine 2 does. It's a graphics engine. If they went back to Hedgehog Engine 1, it would still play like Sonic Forces because of what they use now for the gameplay. And also mostly because that's just how their gameplay philosophy is these days. But yeah, it seems like a Sonic Heroes port or remake is happening, and it seems kind of crazy that it's happening, but apparently it's in talks or probably has already started development. That information that these leakers have, that could be old by this point. They could have been started on that game, which would be surprising because you would think that Frontiers would be next up. But I guess maybe a different team would be working on this, but who knows? But you know what they say.
Well, whatever happens, happens.